Hello, welcome in. This is Cleo, and I've been told to just jump on because there's an urgent message for somebody out there that they really need to turn their life around. So I'm going to just dive in. I hope you're all doing really well. And thank you again for all your lovely comments, likes, subscriptions, and your donations. I really appreciate you all. So I'm going to zone in now. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, higher beings. What's the message for my viewer today? What's this important message that they need? Show me, please. Okay, so I'm getting that you're sort of back and forth about something in your life at the moment. And this has a lot to do with how you view yourself and your self-image and how you feel about yourself. I'm getting internal guidance, so you could feel a bit back and forth with the way you feel about handling something or which pathway you feel like you want to follow. Show me one more. 5 of Wands. So I'm getting this involves some sort of conflict. I'm hearing a battle of wills, you know, like there's some sort of battle. And I feel like this is affecting how you see yourself with the 2 of Pentacles, because as you can see, this person is looking at themselves in the mirror. And I'm getting this distinct sort of sense of 1 minute you feel like doing one thing and the next minute things shift and it feels like your internal world shifts. And it's because of some sort of conflict that's going on in your life. So maybe when you're in conflict with somebody, you feel one way about yourself. And then when things settle down and you stop arguing with them or they stop arguing with you, you feel completely differently. I'm getting a push-pull kind of energy. I'm getting this kind of, I'm hearing the word dopamine here. So it's almost like when things settle down in your life outside of this conflict, the dopamine rushes in, you feel good, but then it starts again and you feel like 2 different people because of some sort of conflict that's going on in your life. Show me one more, please. It's almost like 2 different pathways that feel completely different to one another based on whether you're getting along with somebody or whether you're not getting along with them. We've got the 3 of Wands here, so I can see that, judging by the imagery on this card, it sort of feels like to me that something is sort of draining you, making you feel tired. You don't know which direction to put your energy into. However, we do have a sunset on this card. So there's something in you that doesn't know which direction the sunset is in, but I can tell you now that Spirit is telling me that the sunset is far away from this conflict. And while this conflict is going on in your life, you're not going to be able to see yourself clearly. It's like there's nothing wrong with you at all. It's just your self-image is being affected by how you interact with somebody else, okay? And, basically the sunset is in a different direction to this person. And it's almost like the higher vision here, the advice from the divine realm is to sort of take what energy you've got while you've still got energy and move towards a sunset all your own, because, this is really affecting your self-image, this conflict that's going on in your life. It's really affecting how you see yourself, how you view yourself. And eventually it could kind of corrode your self-image in a more long-term way. Whereas right now you can still see the real you. But it's almost like if this keeps on, this back and forth, you're literally wiring your mind in. Your mind's being wired to see yourself differently because of someone arguing with you, someone battling with you. It's almost like someone wants you to see yourself differently. They don't want you to see yourself clearly as a person of value. They want to corrode you. They want to break you down by arguing with you and then sort of rewarding you, with nice behavior when it suits them. Almost like training you, training you to rely on them to feel good. Because every time they battle with you, it's kind of taking your mind and your soul in a direction that in the long term won't lead you to the sunset, but there is a beautiful life available for you. Show me. One more. Ace of Wands. Okay, so this shows me you've got a lot of passion in reserve, okay? And what I'm getting is that someone you've been arguing with, they don't have the energy you've got. And by arguing with you, they're draining you. The Ace of Wands is a fiery energy. So what I'm getting here is that someone by interacting with you in a certain way is sort of draining energy from your magnetic field, from your solar plexus, which is where we get our confidence and our drive. And I'm getting vision here as well. It's almost like someone is siphoning the essence of you by creating conflict. And then obviously if you stick up for yourself, they try and make out that you're both arguing and you're both, doing the same thing. But I'm getting this person is the instigator. They start these arguments because they want your precious life force energy. And I'm getting that they're growing an entire life from your energy. You can see this tree is pretty much dead. If it weren't for... I'm kind of getting that this is your energy and this is the person who you've been in conflict with. This is their energy. The tree is dead, but because of you, they're sort of coming back to life or sort of, God, that almost makes it sound romantic, but I'm not getting that vibe here. They're draining your life force energy to grow their own garden here. And I am getting that once they've taken enough energy from you and once they've gotten their life in the position they want it, they will, and they're quite happy. And I've got to be blunt here. They're quite happy to drop you like a hot stone. So any feeling of closeness and intimacy through conflict, which can often happen in our relationships, we can kind of feel closer to people when we argue with them often. That's really normal. It sort of feels like a deepening of the relationship sometimes when that happens. That's an illusion. Okay, they will take and take and take your precious elixir, your life force energy, make you see yourself completely differently because through your own free will, you're engaging in this timeline and it's going down and down and down. Their life is going up, your life is going down because they're sort of trying to mimic your confidence or take your essence and then make you feel like you never had any confidence to begin with. But you have got confidence and you've got great value and you know that. You've seen that in yourself. You know yourself. But slowly but surely, they're making you doubt the way you see yourself. And it's because they want to basically mimic your confidence, succuby your energy, steal your energy, suck the energy out of your magnetic field. Invisibly, this happens. We're all radiating energy all the time. And through this interaction, they're taking your energy from your precious reserves, shifting the way you see yourself and, growing leaves in their own garden. And they will not hesitate. I'm getting narcissist. This person will not hesitate to drop you like a hot stone. I'm getting meet someone else. They've already had thoughts of meeting someone else. Because they're quite cold. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they pretend to be passionate. Maybe they try and mirror you back at you and it confuses you because they seem so familiar. But they're really trying to sort of build a life from your energy, which is what narcissists do. And they only pick the best people, okay? And some of the best people out there have made the mistake of getting with a narcissist. And they're not the same person when they exit that relationship or when they get dropped like a hot stone, a hot potato and discarded by the narcissist. It's the way they do things. That's their mission objective. They're cold-hearted and that's how they do it. Hierophant energy here. I feel like this person really hates the fact that you've got your own guidance system and you're really quite confident, and I can see, you have been fighting back and Spirit's saying, don't let this person make you feel guilty that you've been fighting back, because I feel like they're really good at that. They're really good at manipulating you. And I feel like you've got a really precious connection to the divine, which they're actually trying to sort of corrode. They're trying to separate you from your higher self, from your guidance system, and gaslight you and make you seem like the crazy one. Anytime you stick up for yourself, it's like they're punishing you for your confidence. They're punishing you for your beautiful nature. It's because they're jealous. Okay, and you may have noticed this person copying your phrases, using your lingo. If you look out now, and watch them, you might notice them sort of copying your mannerisms. And I'm getting that you'll definitely have noticed a shift in this person's persona from when you first met them to now. The way they behave will have changed if you look back and you sort of try and see it clearly, because I know these people do fog up our minds when we're around them. It's sort of natural spell work that they use to kind of confuse people and make you see reality differently. I'm getting that, there will have been times when you recollect something and they pretend they remember it differently than you. This is not the truth. They remember it the way you remember it. They just find it funny to play head games with you. And I'm getting the King of Swords here, really cold energy. This person is barren of the energies that they try and sort of pretend they've got to other people, right? Or even to you, because I'm getting when you first met this person, you may have thought they were a soulmate. And they may have felt really close to you. And it's the textbook narcissistic voodoo way of taking energy from your magnetic field. They're very good at taking a sample of your invisible energy and reflecting it back at you so you feel like you've met a soulmate. Spirit's saying, you know, be careful because they will check through your watch history. So please do make sure they don't see that you've watched this video because they will up their game. They will play deeper, more intense, horrible games with you. And they are very nosy. But if you can, try and read up on narcissists and narcissistic warfare. HG Tudor is a really good one on YouTube. He'll tell you all about them, okay? Very cold, this person. They know exactly what they're doing. And they picked you because they really want to be more like you, okay? And it doesn't matter if you're a woman and they're a man or anything like that. They don't care about that. They don't care that it's kind of icky to kind of like do that to a partner or whatever. They just want to be more like you. You've got something they could never have. And they spend their whole life crafting this image. You might have noticed the way they shift around other people and the way they kind of put on an act to other people. There's one story for the outside world and there's one story behind closed doors with you two. And, you know, they're very, very calculating with the King of Swords. This is someone who's very intelligent. And they know exactly what they're stealing from you. And they will not hesitate. You know, Spirit's saying there's no law against stealing someone's energy and dumping them for someone else. And, yeah, I'm getting this person's done this before. They may have told you about relationships. They put down their exes a lot, I'm getting. And, you know, give you a false story about their exes and stuff like that. It's all a story. It's all a facade. It's all made up. It's distorted in their mind. And if you could really see the way the storyline played out in their past relationships, you'd see they've done this before and they don't hesitate to throw people away and they really believe their own lies. You know, on some level, they have to convince themselves when they discard someone that that person did something wrong, and they'll go through all these sort of mental acrobatics to really convince themselves, like they're in a court of law, that they are in the right and that this person deserved what they got and that they had perfect justification for dumping this person. Because, of course, the things that are happening invisibly. You know, your confidence getting drained and stuff like that. Okay, so Spirit is saying quit while you're ahead, and please don't let that person see that you've been watching these things. They know that relationships can be addictive. The spirit realm understands our relationships can be addictive, but they're really sort of challenging you and imploring you and begging you really to save yourself, to go towards a beautiful sunset, despite the fact that this person may have made out that, you know, you'll never have a life as good without them as you've got with them. You know, I can see it's just arguments and this back and forth and not knowing where you stand. And again, we can be chemically addicted to these scenarios because one minute they feel like the perfect partner, reflecting us back at us, making themselves feel like a soulmate. And the next minute they're starting things and blaming us and this, that, and the other. It's not normal and it's not right. You deserve someone who's good to you all the time. And even if there is conflict, as adults, we should be able to take a step back and be like, you know what, we're both, you know, in a normal relationship. It just doesn't get that bad. You know, I don't want to say certain things that I know this person said that might make you think they sound healthy, because they're very good at that as well. They're very good at often mimicking healthy people. But 8 of Cups here, the solution is walking away. And I feel like if you don't do it, they'll do it to you further on down the line, when your self-image has been corroded and when you don't have as much fight or as much energy left. And trust me, the longer you're with a narcissist, the more they take your storyline down. And, you know, it might seem easy, oh, I'll just leave them another time, or if they get worse, I'll leave them or something like that. But it's surprising how quick our sense of self can change. You know, one minute we're bouncing back and it might take us a day to bounce back and feel like ourselves again. Next minute, it takes us a week to bounce back from the last argument and feel like ourselves again. And then it can take 6 months, a year, 2 years or 3 years to bounce back. So it can really multiply. The damage can multiply pretty quickly. And yeah, the advice here is to turn to the divine realm. Keep your instincts and your guidance system at the forefront of your mind and know that you've done nothing wrong. They pick the best ones to try and steal energy from, and they do it to a lot of people. So they don't pick the losers, they pick the winners. As much as they might make you feel bad while you're with them, they only pick winners to steal their energy from. This person may have had a promotion since you've been with them or something like that. I'm getting that work means a lot to them. And yes, there's a lot of flirting with workmates, and I think they may have had some sort of skullduggerous activity in the workplace. I'm getting sort of storeroom, bathroom antics with a colleague, okay? So they don't hesitate to, do things behind your back. So Spirit's saying be careful, because this person, they're very promiscuous, and, be careful with your body here, okay? Because, narcissists are known for sleeping with anyone and anything. As long as they can get fuel from them or get an ego boost, they'll do it. So Spirit wants you to protect your body as well with this person. Obviously, sleeping with them could be bad for your health. Okay, we've got the 7 of Pentacles here. The advisor is to invest in yourself, in your beauty, in your greatness, in your loveliness, and balance things out. We can see with the 2 of Pentacles, there's energy all over the place. Normally, we've got 2 Pentacles sort of up in the air. With the Justice, we've got this pure serenity, balance, equilibrium. Okay, Libra energy here. So the spirit world is watching over this. Okay, you've got ancestors saying, please go. And they're tingling me right now. They're saying, please go. This isn't right. As addictive as this person feels, they're basically pretending to be a soulmate. You do have real soulmate connections out there. And the longer you stay with this person, the longer you are preventing yourself from meeting your true soulmates who will make you feel lovely all of the time. They're saying, please don't get addicted to the drama, okay? Because life's hard enough. And, sometimes people feel like it's really romantic to be in a dramatic relationship. And it is sort of subconscious because we've seen movies and stuff like that. But, the solution here is to get out of this thing as quickly as you can. 2 of Cups, you've got a beautiful relationship in your future here, I can see. And Spirit doesn't want you to leave this thing too long before you get rid of this person or get away from this person, because, you're a divine being. You've got a beautiful spirit team around you, and we don't want you. They're saying we don't want you to be so heartbroken when you leave this person or get away from this person. And God forbid, Spirit doesn't want you to sort of leave it so long that they sort of dump you and do it in a really hurtful way. Because there's someone beautiful out there for you and they're waiting for you. This is a divine contract with the Lovers here and the 2 of Cups. And I feel like this person is on the enemy team. They're not on Team Godhead, okay? They're not on the heartful team in this world. And what that means is, they will try and stop the heartful ones, the divine beings, from getting into their sacred contractual relationships. So this person is acting as a block, on your life to try and sort of prevent you getting with the real one. They're trying to pretend to be your real true love on some level and drain your energy at the same time and distort your view of yourself at the same time, because you do have a perfect match out there, okay? And I do see you walking away quite quickly, and finding this match and really loving yourself and really finding a stable kind of harmonic mindset to go forward in, where you know how great you are, and that if it's that conflictual, it can't be right for you. It just cannot be, okay? 5 of Cups. So yes, someone's making you see yourself differently. And they can be very powerfully hypnotic, these narcissists. They can really convince you. So Spirit's saying, just because sometimes you're convinced that maybe you're a bad person, or you're convinced that you're, this is almost like someone making you feel like you're unattractive, or someone making you upset with yourself, or someone making you think, am I just a bad person after all? Or am I just unattractive after all? No. They only pick the best. Remember that. And, I can see this level of disappointment here is pretty bad, but you've got these 2 cups, the 2 of Cups over here. And, your nervous system needs some realignment. Your body needs some relaxation. Once you get away from this person, you really need to kind of be kind to yourself and understand that they've put you in a really kind of intense scenario where you've become sort of chemically patterned to kind of want this person to approve of you and to want them to make it up with you, okay? Because all relationships basically on a spiritual level, they kind of offer us a position where we can be like the child and our partner can be like the parent, and vice versa. Hence, we call our partners baby, right? The partner, as we get older is supposed to replace the parent. So what I'm getting here is this person can at times provide you with this sort of parental comfort, or that's what's happening archetypally in your soul at the moment, which is why you may find them quite addictive. But they really want you to dig on your reserves of strength here and really see the bigger picture, really see the overview, and realize that these patterns aren't normal, that you are loved, you are precious, you are cherished. And when you feel like on top of the world, when you feel like $1,000,000, when you feel wonderful and great and amazing, that's who you truly are. When you feel beautiful, when you feel loved, when you feel magical, that's who you truly are. Okay, I'm getting the name Geraldine coming through. Page of Cups here. Yeah, I feel like this person loves being in control and offering you apologies, and or sort of, you know, being the one to make the first move after a fight, because they love it. They love thinking they can pull your strings and puppeteer you. And when you do get strong again, they come crawling back. All right. But it's always false. They're only crawling back for control, because they need another fix of your wonderful energy. And that's why you're starting to doubt who you are. That's why you're starting to feel crappy, because they're taking all the energy that makes you feel so good and so sunshiny and so radiant and so gorgeous. Okay, your ancestors saying you are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It may feel like hard work getting away from this person, but they're saying as long as you be your own parent, and as long as you be your own best friend, and as long as you understand that this person is sort of training your inner child. We all have this inner child that, you know, wants comfort and wants to be loved and approved of, and this person knows that. Once you say to yourself, right, I'm here now, you can say it to yourself in your head, to your inner child, right, I'm here now, I'm taking control, and you have to be the parental authority of your own life. That will help you work through the steps required to get away from this person. Understand you've got all the power of the universe. And once you realize this person, now I've said it to you, you're going to realize this person is taking your energy in a patterned kind of way, in, out, in, out. They love seeing you wound up. They love seeing you hysterical, I'm getting, you know, and trying to make out you're crazy to other people. I feel like they've mentioned things about you, trying to make out you're an abusive partner, right? Because they will twist it, they will reverse it and try and make out you're the bad one. But I can see you ordering your mind here, being authoritative, being mature, being intelligent, and just being practical, really switching your emotions off, putting your guard up against this person, and really sort of taking your precious elixirs with you out the door. 8 of Wands here. This is quick movement. Alongside this 8 of Cups, quick movement away from this toxic scenario. And, you know, you're investing in a practical way now. And, you know, sometimes we've got to do things that feel boring at first, but soon enough, we realize that the peace is not boring. The peace is beautiful, and peace is just the first step for you. And then you're going to be moving on to bigger and better things and beautiful, real soulmate connections here. Show me King of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this person could have been really generous at first, or they could be quite generous after, you know, a big argument or something like that. Okay, they could use proposals as a way of controlling you, or they could have done that in the past. 10 of Cups here, or they talk about the future, right, in terms of marriage and kids and stuff. Spirit's saying this is all false. All right, they're just using your imagination against you. This person is using your imagination against you so that you paint a picture in your mind of a happy future with them that will never manifest. It will never exist. But do look out for that, because they'll suggest things like marriage or proposals, but it never manifests. They just want to tie themselves in with that energy in your mind, if that makes sense. But the reality is stark incompatibility. Okay, you're not... See, that just reversed in my mind, because eventually they're going to start to say you're a narcissist. That was so bizarre. I just literally caught hold of their energy then. You're a lovely, heartful being and they're a narcissist, but they will try and reverse this in the future if you stay with them, and it will not be pretty, okay? And they've already been painting a picture about you to other people. They've been mentioning little things about you, and they've got a couple of people that they talk quite in depth with, okay? It could be the person that they've been cheating with. Spirit saying if you could take this person to a lie detector and ask them everything you want, you'd be absolutely mortified or shocked, or maybe not shocked, because I feel like you've already had suspicions about this person, But, you know, Spirit saying if you could get this person on a lie detector, you would see their true colors and it would not be pretty. I'm seeing this gray energy, this distraught, depressed energy if you stay with them, because they will try and take as much of your light as possible and leave you feeling like absolute crap. Okay, so please get out while you've still got the confidence and, you know, the drive to do so. Please, they're saying. 8 of Swords are on top of the Hierophant. Anytime you feel anxiety, you need to connect to these higher powers, okay? And I do feel like this person sees your strength, and maybe you're spiritual, maybe you have certain beliefs or practices, or maybe they just sense it in you that you've got this beautiful connection to that which we call God or source energy or the universe, and it makes them nervous. And their job on the earth plane is to disconnect people from their source, take their energy and kind of lower the frequency of the earth by lowering the frequency of people one by one. And they're all like it. And there's so many of them out there. But your connection to the magical, the divine, the sacred scares this person. Okay, because they want to take that, not so they can be a good person, just so they can sort of use the ingredients they steal off you to manipulate other people. And the pattern goes on and on and on. Okay, 10 of Wands. I can see that you think it will be a burden leaving this person, but I can guarantee you it will be 10 times more of a burden to stay. It doesn't seem like that now, but soon enough, watch over the next couple of days or over the next week or 2 weeks, they're saying. And things will deteriorate within 2 weeks, I'm getting. And, you know, they don't want that to happen. You're a lovely soul. You're a beautiful soul. Your ancestors are watching this and they are your witness. If this person lies all the time and gaslights you and tries to say that you're the narcissist, please remember the divine knows everything this person's been doing and the divine knows who you are, okay? It gets really frustrating dealing with these people because you just want someone to understand and then they make you feel alone. And Spirit saying, we are your witnesses. We know who this person is. We know what they've done. And no matter what they say, please know that there are so many of us with you all the time, you know, watching what this person is doing. And you don't need any other witnesses other than God, the divine realm, your ancestors. You don't need more witnesses than that. So as much as this person confuses you, or, you know, makes you feel like maybe no one will understand what's going on, or sometimes it can just be so hard. There's a backlog of things we want someone to understand because they've frustrated us so much. Spirit's saying, you know, we see, we understand, we know, and we're always with you, okay? 7 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. Investing in yourself will be the most celebratory thing you've ever done. And I'm getting that maybe you've sort of, you see less of friends now and maybe less of family even, or maybe not. But they're saying, you know, there are a lot of people waiting to join up with you. Okay, so don't believe it. If this person tries to make you feel like certain people don't like you anymore, they always do that. They always do that. It's textbook. There are plenty of people that love you and a beautiful divine contract that, you know, the quicker you get away from this person, the quicker you can make your way towards. Look at that gorgeous energy. It's almost like there's 2 options here. Letting this person break your heart in the future, or moving away with your dignity intact. Like, you know what, I deserve better than this. And I don't care if I'm on my own for a year. And I don't care if none of my friends like me. And I don't care. You know, you've kind of got to be a warrior with this. And sort of be, even if I'm going to be on my own for a while, who cares? It's better than being with you. Ugh, you know, now you know what they're doing. It's bitch behavior. If you're with a man and he's stealing your energy, it's such bitch behavior. It's grotesque, honestly. And I know sometimes they can be Jekyll and Hyde. So it's like the version of them that's horrible makes you want to run to the version of them that's nice, and it can mess your head up like that. But you are all that you need. You need to run to yourself, hold your own hand. And, you know, you're everything you need. You've got the power of the whole universe in your hands, and you can anchor in any energy you need. Okay, just appreciating an energy, thinking about an energy. You can literally zone into any stream of consciousness you want. And all the thoughts and all the beings who've ever existed, their energies are available non-physically for you to zone into when you need them. And, you know, you can change anytime you want. You can change your mind and you can be a new person anytime you want. You've got this beautiful power, this very sacred shamanic power to zone into the non-physical etheric realms, astral realms, and to really sort of shock this person by being like, you know what, look what you made me do. They want you to put that song on, Taylor Swift, look what you made me do. You can zone into new energy anytime you want. Even if this person's draining you out, find a new energy, a confident energy, and make your story a sassy one. They're saying be sassy, get up and go. Okay, this person is, I'm getting weasel energy coming through, okay? They might try and pretend they're an alpha or something like that, but they're actually so insecure. And if you could see what they got up to behind your back, you'd feel sick. All right. So this is about doing yourself justice here. Temperance. You are the potion. You are the power. And you've got this. Okay. You're completely, zoned into angelic energies, I'm getting. So your angels are giving you messages and hints and tricks. I'm getting that you get a really horrible feeling when you're arguing with this person. It's because they've got like this weird demonic dead-hearted way about them, and your angels see that, okay? But temporarily it kind of zones you out from your angelic energies, but they're there with you and they want you to acknowledge them so that the connection gets stronger and stronger and stronger, okay? This person might not have laid a hand on you, but the psychological damage that they're doing can take a while to undo. So this is like an SOS call to your heart to please don't let the frequency go any lower. Don't let them take something that could take 3 years to replace, you need to fly away from this. There's someone gorgeous and lovely and beautiful who's on your wavelength waiting for you. Yeah, this is about you flying away, letting the angels guide you to your true soulmates, soul group members, your true clan. They want you up in the loot lounge of consciousness. And if your consciousness, because all is mind and the mind is all, if your consciousness keeps on getting pulled lower and lower and lower, this is like spell work, this is like voodoo, this is like witchcraft, it will drain your elixir. They want you to recuperate your losses, cut your losses, and fly out and get back up in frequency and happiness, where you will be around other high vibrational beings. And that's all you need. Leave this person in the cold. This is the whole truth. Big death energy, okay? Your instincts are beautiful with the high priestess. This is about cutting this story dead and letting them have it, I think you have thought about sleuthing. Spirit saying this is all you need. This reading is all you need, okay? If your soul is resonating with this, this reading is for you. Either they leave you out in the cold or you leave them out in the cold, and you're the winner here. So that's the truth, Ruth. I love you. I'm sending you a big hug right now. You've got this, okay? Be the powerful, sassy one in this storyline. Your ancestors are watching. I love you loads. Mwah.